right, greetings. Okay, I'm just checking everything here. All right, thank you for joining us. Okay, so this is the Lyran, the felines. There's also the Lyrans also have a human, like us. So there's another aspect of them, and you can say that's one of the reasons why we're going through all this, because the felines brought their problems here. The reptilians brought their problems here. Of course, that's also the snake energies. And sectoid beings brought their narcissism here. and insectoid beings can be programmed, so just like us. So anyway, either way, we have just a little bit of everything here. Even the Arcturians, they have their problems. Yeah, they're not perfect. Yeah, they can become technology obsessed. It's interesting. Yeah, I never really thought about that aspect of it. Yeah, Arcturians becoming our technology obsessed. Of course, they're very spiritual too, but some of them can become technology obsessed, where nobody's perfect. Especially here in the physical realms. But the feline, of course, I'm not sure if I haven't spelled that right. Let me check that right. We're an alien. And close enough. Anyway, I don't remember. Anyway, we'll move on from that. But either way, yes, the feline energies, they just, there are worlds harder than ours. And that would be reptilian worlds and feline worlds. There's more to it than that, but a lot of them are warrior planets where they're just fighting constantly. Doesn't mean they have World War III. Some of them can be like primitive feline worlds where they're just kind of like something out of the Middle Ages. So it's just there are feline worlds where they live in bliss and they're not aware of anything, and there's other feline worlds out there you can't stop fighting each other. So, and it's not just that felines are fighting reptilian beings, it's felines fighting felines, just like our world. So there's you can go on and on with that. So connect to their frequency, connect to the sixth dimension in general, to sixth dimensional beings. I feel like they want to say something. They have energies connected to music, whereas every dimension has music connection. I just feel like music frequency coming from them. And then Gemini Constellation. So that's the twins. That's a weird one. That's from Greek mythology. It's like there's two boys or two girls and the twins. Let's see, the Gemini Constellation. Let's see what's that in mythology. Just checking something. The Gemini mythology. Is the Mortal Sun King. I can't pronounce that. Okay, so I guess the twins couldn't be inseparable in their looks and actions. So just the twin energy. Castor and Pollux. But they also show him as a female too. So whatever, however you want to look at that. Yeah, it feels like longevity. Gemini energies. This feels like the DNA where you can live forever. Something like immortality. I imagine many here want to be immortal and live through this for another couple thousand years in one life. Gosh, man. Are there any mortals in our time? I imagine there are. We'll never know about them, though. They're probably in more of a different dimension, but you never know. We'll just never know. I don't know if we want to know. I guess you can't call it reincarnation immortality. Anyways, I'm talking Karmic private sessions. So the schedule, the shop here. I forget. I'm somewhere about webinar, social network behind the scenes. Yeah, and the I haven't made a full announcement of it yet, but I was going to go to a conference in May, but I don't think I can get out of work. My job is kind of dying, so it's kind of not. It's not friendly there either, so let it die. It might die before May. I don't know about that. I just have nobody to cover for me, so that's why. Yeah, it's on his deathbed. Not dead yet, but it's getting there. So, all right, the cats are in the background. They have their own furniture, so they're clawing it right now, getting to all my stuff. So, or their stuff. This is their place, apparently. So, all right, I'm just the maid. So, all right. Yeah, they have a cat condo. Well, this is technically like a cat condo, but they have their own cat condo in the closet. In the closet. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, they have a little house in the closet now. They built it themselves. So, all right. Let's go to Lyran energies, sixth dimension, and Gemini connections. So, all right. Blessings. All right. This might not be your normal Lyran connection, but that's all right. Blessings. Brings we are the feline. The felines were the Lyrans. There is, yes, a great deal of trust within your world. The feline energies, of course, humans don't really trust each other at all. The feline energies have that difficulty also. That's where the society is split, and that's what causes war, which causes famine. Of course, you have worlds where everyone gets along with each other. There's more higher dimensional worlds, but not all those worlds are always perfect. But the ones that are at war with each other, there's like a disease within the mind of just not wanting. It's like when the world, our feline worlds, when they need to start coming together, it's like when peace comes about, their world doesn't have reason to exist anymore. It's like their worlds are developed for them to fight. And then when the fighting is over, everybody leaves. And then there's nobody there anymore. Will that happen to your planet? No. Your world always finds a way of keeping the challenges continuing on and on. And those worlds are feline worlds to continue on, meaning like the world exists, but the war is not there anymore. But there's usually very few inhabitants there. Well, it's to have the memory of what happened, what caused it. And even historians like your world, historic understanding for whatever reason it caused it. Because when you end one war, another one can start somewhere else, as it happens on your planet quite often. So it doesn't, and some of you might remember, yes, the felines have created a humanoid version of ourselves. Well, it's just other alien beings were involved with it too. It wasn't just the felines, it was insectoid beings. Well, just basically they can see another aspect of ourselves, and that was a human, as what you are today. Yes, a hairless human, basically. I went through many versions of it. But you can say every alien species has their own version of human. Maybe not the most prettiest, attractive ones, of course. Yeah, we're not going to go into that one. But basically, the Lyran was, you can say, the closest to what you are on your planet. The version of human doesn't mean that, yeah, you're an extension of our reality. Of course, also extension of the reptilians too. But basically, our humans looked like your humans. Let's put it that way. It's not always supposed to make complete sense. And there's different timelines where you're an offshoot of our reality, and there's other, but basically you are your own race. How you were developed, you just DNA from all these different alien beings, and the human, reality, the human form was the right way. But realize also in your time, a lot will be reset, meaning your history of your world was reset many times, meaning that it's not always meant to see the full details of your past, your Earth's past. Because what for? It's been reset so many times. Yes, it's good to just concentrate on the now. And later on, the past will come to you automatically. You don't have to look. You just get a download, as many do. It's for different reasons, like some that can handle it, it's just part of their journey, but it's not meant for everyone. Right now, it's the now that's most important. You can connect to it, the past in your own form, and feel what you want to if you absolutely wish to. Getting the full details is not always necessary. Of course, connecting to the future is just as difficult as connecting to the past. Neither one wants to show themselves. Both realities want to keep themselves hidden. As you know, it's just because you're focusing on the current timeline. Of course, many feline beings feel, yes, they have trouble with humans. They have, just like any other alien species, they see humans as within your world. Not exactly, a lot of alien beings have difficulties with your planet's species. As some of you have problem with the alien species. So it's like when you leave one conflict, you go to another. It's like some of you made peace with humanity here, but you still having problems with the alien beings. And so you might go to some world where you have to deal with the conflict with them to resolve that. So basically, all these wars is about resolving difficult, different ways of looking at things, points of view. And yes, some want to force the Anunnaki feels as if they own society. Maybe not all of it, but they feel like they contributed a lot. Of course, the felines contributed a lot also. And also the Syrians contribute a great deal of their spirituality. So the felines of your world is more like the kind of like the warrior race, basically the larger ears, and you're just, more like the ancient feline. Many felines just have evolved since then. Not to say we look like human, but we've become more civilized. Of course, there's many felines that are still not civilized. There's always somebody that doesn't want to be civilized. Many still have difficulties. Well, it's their growth, and we have to respect that. So that's why worlds are invented for beings to fight among each other. So you can fight on that planet and leave everybody else alone. Or you go into space and cause everybody difficulties. Sometimes it's better just to leave you on a planet, just like where you are here. And there are humans on other planets from your world, but nobody's going to bring you any type of, they're not going to show you any proof anytime soon. Well, because there's other agendas, of course, there's other civilizations, in human civilizations within yours, as you know, secret societies and all that. And a secret society doesn't want to conflict with your society. It wants you to continue on your path, and they don't want to interfere. They don't want you in their business either. And some of you imagine can tap into that. But the everyday life, it's like when you master this reality, it doesn't mean you have to be wealthy. Doesn't mean you have to just, it's like when you just master it, meaning you just, like school, you get through the lesson, no matter what it is. And then many other prizes are given to you, you can say. You are given many gifts. but it's different for everybody. It's basically just to get through your life, basically, get through the hardships of it. And that's it. Yeah, so many went to win the lottery and all that, and that's fine. Some are kind of stuck on those timelines. You can literally be stuck on that timeline. Yes, it's gonna get, that's been coming in a lot. Well, as a human, and that obviously has a lot of manipulation built into it. But it can be also positive energy too. The money system isn't going to leave your planet anytime soon either. As some may feel it's all going to heal in this timeline. Well, some interesting, some that see your monetary system changing is because they see it different when they leave this planet. So when they see the future, they're seeing their future in another reality. And then your master rest is the same thing. You can go to, after you leave this world, you can go to reality where you can see master rest and everything is working, just wonderfully. But while you're here, reality has a different plan. And it's for humanity to realize that. It's not an easy one. It's like what you call it, a pill to swallow. And then it all starts to make sense, even if it doesn't make any sense. And it's not. It just this world has an agenda, and it's not going to change. It's many wish for a monetary system to improve, and the world is still holding on to its old ways. But for you to, to pass your levels, for your achievement to your next level, that's what the goal is. That you get to a certain age where things start to change, but you can change it now to a certain level. But there's just certain things that have to happen in your timeline now. As many would like fame and fortune or whatever it is that they're looking for, but that's not always meant for everybody, and that's not always that great either, because they also lose a lot too. It all depends. Everyone's different. Brings you. We are energies from the sixth dimension. Yes, many are focusing on their health. Many of you are used to higher frequencies. They're not used to this physical realm. That's why health issues occur. And yes, there's karmic connections also, not just from your family line, but also from different galactic lifetimes. So your galactic lifetimes can cause, like, some have been a menace in the higher astral because they can get away with it. Then they come into the physical, and now they have heart pain and things of that kind. And they wonder why. It's like, I didn't do anything wrong in this lifetime, and that's true. But about your other lifetimes, it's just many in the higher dimensions abuse their power, and it happens a lot. Even the nicest beings in the universe do things they should not be doing. They do it for a little while, then they're good again, but then they do something they shouldn't be doing. So there's not all cases, but there are cases where those beings are here having some major health issues. They're not always, and that's not all health problems. Not all health problems are karma related. Some of it is just challenges, but then this is something for you to overcome, even heal yourself. It's not necessarily a karmic debt, not at all. And not always from your bloodline. I mean, yes, it's from your bloodline, your family line, but it just, yes, you're dealing with your family stuff, but also you knew about it, and you're dealing with it however you want to dilute it, however it is. It gives you a different perspective on life. It has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. And others are going to say it doesn't, but it does. They just don't want to hear it. You are where you are for a reason. Yes, many of you get married and wonder what they were thinking. Eventually they heal that timeline sometimes. What's a reflection of yourself also? It's like seeing a darker side of yourself. It's almost like looking in a mirror. And you can always heal that too. That's why the marriage can improve. Or if you don't want to fix yourself, then you break up. That's not always the case. There are cases like that. Yeah, some just don't want that bitter truth to see themselves. So that you wonder why souls incarnate here over and over again is because they bypass their own seeing themselves. They ignore themselves, and then they get distracted by other things, and they have to come back until they get to face themselves finally. And yes, you can have fame and fortune, still not focus on yourself. And in the next life, you have to live a life of poverty, depending, so you can focus on yourself and the little things of life. Because maybe, some of it are on the extravagant, fancy luxuries and all that, and that's fine. But some get lost with that too. Not everybody. You can actually have the end grow at the same time, but many get lost with it, as some of you know. So, but that's why some of you, yes, the less you have, the more you have, because that's when you're really focusing on yourself in turn. Like you're not living the life that you want to, but you're living the life that's necessary here. That's necessary. Greetings to you. We are a Gemini consciousness. We are, yes, for longevity, but also for you to connect to your highest potential. And of course, in your world, you don't always see it. But so there are worlds, realities where you go and see all the talents that you're capable of. But it doesn't mean you can always access all of it. So you'll see all these things about yourself, even the higher astral. You don't always see everything. You can be in the spirit realm and not see yourself. They can only see an aspect of them. But they go to like Mars, they see a version of themselves. They see parts of themselves they have not seen before. They go to your planets and see everyone's darkness, including their own. When they go to Gemini, you can see all your potential, but also you see what you have to do to get to that potential, what you have to do to activate these talents. And not everybody wants to do these things. Like you have the capability of having a lot of power, but are you willing to build it to get there? So not all, it's like painting yourself, like learning how to be a great painter. You have to paint a lot. You have to go through suffering. You have to go through different gender incarnations to create the perfect creation that you want to discover. What you want to build within yourself, your characteristics. So there's always type of work, and even in higher dimensions, not everything is handed to you. I mean, yes, you have a place of bliss, but there's still work for you to evolve. It's all about evolving. And you can devolve, but then you can always go back to evolve. And you can devolve and you can go backwards, but then there's some things you want to let go to improve in other areas. And you can always go back and improve again. Sometimes we'll have to let things go for you to evolve in certain ways. That probably doesn't make any sense to anybody because we're being we're being general. But it's like you can't always have not everybody can be a Renaissance man or Renaissance woman. It's like you're holding too many hats. You can also go crazy at the same time. Or you can just become a mathematician and just focus on that. When you become a mathematician, you can't clean worth anything. And then you can't, it might work through your mind. You might be able to be an inventor. And once again, you're inventing, but then your love life is a mess. See, it's like you have a certain focus, which is good. But then after you've been this crazy inventor, you might not have invented anything that was that great, but either way, you're an inventor. And then you have another incarnation where you can focus on family and relationships if you want to improve on that. Because you can focus on a talent, it can actually make you worse. And then you go back and have a family life. And then you can go back and focus on a talent. Because many become talent focused and their love life isn't always, no, there's a balance there. You can do both. But it's rare. It can have some do, or some just focus on the relationship aspects and just do everything else. You know, don't have to have a huge amount of attention. It's those that want a lot of attention. Those are the ones that become career obsessed. But so many of you are here for family reasons because this world needs a lot of family. That's what keeps this world going. I mean, yes, many are career obsessed. That gets things moving for others to create other careers, but not everybody's obsessed with it. But you need someone to be obsessed to open up a door, create a manufacturing company, whatever it is. And others can have their family, because the family frequency heals all. Why is this world still here? It really is because of family dynamic. You don't have to get along with your family, but there are families that do get along with each other. It just has that family connection. Yes, many families are at each other's throats. But still, there's a family there. Yes, that might not always make sense with that one. But either way, the family dynamic is what keeps this planet going. Even yes, terrible, horrible people, without going into details, have family energy, and others who cut out the family energy altogether and just do horrible things. But eventually, that gets healed. You still allow that to occur, also. Yeah, this world is quite neutral. It doesn't always realize that. Well, it just lets souls do what it needs to do. Because many have a dark timeline, and then they find a lighter timeline. Like some are horrible here, but then they become angels in the higher dimensions. But they leave all their darkness here. And they have lessons to teach others. Yeah, it's not the easiest timeline.